Hi, Dean Winters here with Ed Margolis, co-director of Lucky Glider Rescue and Sanctuary. Ed's here to answer a few questions about sugar glider behavior, so thanks for having me.
Hi, Dean.
First question, can you expect sugar gliders to be awake when you are?
Sometimes. They are nocturnal. And the word nocturnal is a little tricky because most people think it means that, oh, they're only awake at night, they're only awake when it's dark, and that's not true. In the case of sugar gliders, nocturnal means most active at night. 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night is when they start, poking their little heads out of their nesting areas, looking for their food. They'll eat a little bit, run around a little bit, go take a nap, come out, eat some more. It's like a cycle. So they'll eat, sleep, play, eat, sleep, play, eat, sleep, play all night long. And the play periods can be pretty long, can be an hour or two. But they do make a lot of noise at night. Now, does that mean you can't disturb them during the day if you want to pet them or interact with them? Yeah, you can. Some like it more than others, but generally when you try to disturb a sugar glider sleeping, you're going to get crabbed at, maybe even bitten, because they generally don't like to be disturbed when they're sleeping. Doesn't mean they're always sleeping in the daytime. A lot of times they're just sitting there grooming themselves or grooming one another and playing with one another, in the safety of their nest. But they are not sleeping the entire time.
One of the things that I was concerned about before I got sugar gliders is, do they bite?
Sure they bite. You could ask the same question of dogs. Do dogs bite? Yeah, dogs bite when you're roughhousing with them and kind of wrestling with them. They might kind of, put their mouth on you and kind of just go like that to let you know who's boss, but not really break the skin. Gliders are like that too. They'll kind of pinch bite you a little bit to show you that, okay, you're starting to annoy me. Or they might kind of lunge at you if you've startled it, made a sudden movement, or made a loud sound. They'll lunge and maybe nip you a little bit. It's rare that they really bite down hard and stick their teeth right into your flesh and make you bleed. Sometimes they do, but it depends on how scared they are. But the more trust there is between them and you, and the more you respect their space and understand that you can't just jam your hand in the box, you have to kind of talk your way into them. You have to let them know you're coming. You have to talk to them softly. You have to bribe them with treats. You have to kind of respect their space, and it becomes easier and easier to handle them without them getting upset and biting. But yeah, sure they bite.
Okay, what are some of the unique sounds that sugar gliders make?
Oh boy, they make a lot of sounds. The first one that most people will hear is the crabbing sound, which is the kind of sound they make. Which there's two types of crabs. There's the low-pitched, which they give you when you try to disturb them when they're sleeping or they're telling you that you're bothering them. And there's a much higher pitched kind of squealy kind of crab, which just means they're terrified. They don't know who you are, they're not used to you yet, and what they're probably thinking in their minds is, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. That's what you hear from little babies, that haven't been socialized, and Joey-aged gliders that are taken away from their mom and dad too soon. They have a tendency to crap a lot. Another sound that you'll hear is barking. They bark like a little chihuahua, and they'll bark 60, 70 times in a row at night, and then they'll stop, and then maybe they'll pick it up again. And they bark, I think it's a territorial type signal. I am here, I am here. They go chit, chit, chit. They'll chit, chit, chit back and forth to one another as a form of talking. They'll hiss. If they hiss while they're pooping, that's normal. If they hiss while they're peeing, it's a sign that they might have a urinary tract infection. You've got to take them to a vet right away if you hear them hissing while they're peeing. Or they'll hiss at each other as a form of discussion, or sometimes as a precursor to a little bit of a fight if they want to steal food from one another. That's also pretty normal. Screeching is not good. If they're screeching a high-pitched screechy sound like screaming, it's either that they're fighting, and you should separate them if they're making that kind of sound, or that they are self-mutilating. That is not a good sound. If you're hearing that sound, you're probably bound for the vet, because if they're landing bites on one another or self-mutilating, you're going to have to take them to a vet to get them patched up, maybe have an e-collar put on them and some antibiotics. Another sound they'll make is peeping. If they're really young, joeys make a peeping or a crying sound. which brings mom and dad running, of course, when they cry like that. You'll hear like a twittering, kind of purring kind of sound, very soft sound you'll hear if they're close to your ear, if they're very satisfied as they're eating, or very satisfied as they're grooming you to make like a twittering sound. There's other sounds, growling, for example. Growl like a dog would growl at you if it's trying to warn you or trying to make you go away.
Okay, so as you mentioned before, they must be very territorial then if they defend.
They're highly territorial, and the territorial behavior is heightened by two factors. First, it's heightened in terms of their becoming mature. Once they become an adult glider or subadult glider, 5, 6, 7 month range, the territorialism emerges, and it's coincident with their sexual maturity. That's one dynamic, is their age. Another one is the number of members in the colony. The more gliders that are in the colony, the stronger sense of ownership that the alpha male or the alpha female has over that colony, that they want to protect that colony. So they spend a lot of time scent marking the territory, scent marking each other, making sure that their smell is on their territory and on each other. If another glider comes into that territory that doesn't smell like them, that doesn't smell like the territory that they've marked, that doesn't smell like themselves, that glider is, for the most part, marked for death. The alpha male or the alpha female of the colony will emerge to fight that glider because that glider is a threat to them because it doesn't belong to the colony. So it's generally not a good idea just to throw a glider into an existing colony because you're basically killing the glider by doing that.
Okay, and what can I expect from that sugar glider?
Well, you can expect affection, curiosity, playfulness, devilishness. They like to chew on things. They'll chew on your furniture if you let them. They'll dig holes in the bottom of your couch and make a nest inside your couch if you let them. They'll groom you. They'll kiss you. They'll poop and pee anywhere they want to. They'll be affectionate with you. They'll be playful with you. But they're a handful. I mean, you can expect them to behave as an exotic animal because they are. They're not like a hamster. They take special food. They take special care. They take a lot of attention, and they take patience. It takes a special person to really care for a sugar glider well. Someone who won't kill it by not feeding it properly or ignoring it, and letting it get all stressed out. If you ignore sugar glider, just let it sit there, it'll get stressed out, depressed, it'll start self-mutilating, over-grooming, and becoming unhealthy, or possibly just kill itself.
Alright, well, it looks like you've answered a lot of common questions about behavior.
Thanks, Dean.
Thanks for coming.
Okay.
Remember, if you have any questions, you can visit luckyglider.org. Stay tuned for more informative interview videos. And please remember, if you are looking to own a sugar glider, adopt from a local shelter. Don't buy.